All right. It's May 9th, 2022, and I apologize for not starting the recording sooner. Okay, so everything looked like it's okay.
Yeah, I haven't heard back from Renee.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. She'll have it ready for the city council meeting.
Right. Okay. So the next item is our logistics assignments. Melissa wasn't able to be here, but I'm a little behind the time of getting some of these, but we do have a couple things in process that the sentence to serve. Kane is sending the note off to the sentence to serve. It looks like we have those dates. He's confirming that, but it's in there. It's waiting for the sheriff to respond back, but I think it's so. Another thing we have to discuss is the sheriff hours. It's on this spreadsheet that was in front of you. And, just want to look at that quickly. The X's reflect when a sheriff is here. So we have Wednesday night. We do have campers that are trying to sneak in into some of the yards, and we try and watch that just to be a confrontational of asking to move. We asked the sheriff to join us, but on Thursday is when the setup starts. We have the food vendors coming in at 5:30 or 6:30. And then at 11 o'clock is when we will have the vendors start coming in. And that's been moved up from noon of last year. And by 3 o'clock, it's pretty much just vendors setting up and everything, getting ready for Friday. On Friday morning and Saturday, the show starts at 8 o'clock. And it gets busier around 10 o'clock. We have 2 deputies up until, and then from late afternoon, we go down to 1 up through 7 o'clock. And the same thing for Saturday. So if there's any reduction in those hours you'd like to discuss, like I mentioned, for those that weren't here when I made the comment, in the 2019 show, we had 72 hours and we knocked it back to 46 hours at the 2021 show last year. So
I think we were good last year. I felt like it was fine.
Yeah, is that just with the reduction on the amount of vendors that were here?
Is the vendors just cutting costs? That's probably the biggest.
And there's just not a lot of need.
Okay.
I mean, unless we have really another rowdy group.
What's that?
Unless we have another rowdy group of people.
Yeah. But they're always on call.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
If
If we needed them,
like
they could always get them.
Yeah. So. All right.
Any idea what that equates in dollar savings from?
I don't have that share.
I might be able to tell you something in a minute.
Oh, maybe you got it someplace. During your checkbook.
So this is the same as what we had last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't feel like we felt underserved by their presence last year. I felt like it was fine. They were around when we needed them.
That's all you want anyway.
That was
that's
what was important, I felt like.
In the years past, we've had people parking on the bridge. And so they write tickets. And we work with a towing company that we have a couple of different options for towing companies. So, and they were towed. But since that goes back probably 2018, 2017 when it was met, but I think people finally that was doing it before realized they shouldn't do that. So.
And then we got the real signs, posted on the bridge now too.
Yes.
Where before we didn't have that. So yeah, that helps.
Pretty strong message when you have 3 or 4 of them on the bridge. So,
yeah.
Okay. I make a motion that we request a contract for 46 hours for the 2022 show.
Second.
Yeah, I think that's. There's a comment down here on Friday and Saturday between 3 and 4 p.m. Folks start to leave, so one deputy should be fine. And that's okay. We reflect that in the Friday and Saturday single numbers. So, all right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, that's approved.
So it's about $1,600 difference between 2019 and 2021. He's paid $4,320 in 2019 and $2,760 in 2021. So I don't know what the rate, if it's gone up a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's a pretty significant cut there.
Yeah. And they will get a golf cart signed to the sheriff as well as a radio too. So we're always in contact with them. So the porta potties.
Rylan, was that 46 hours?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I have a
Since the
question.
service, I'm sorry.
I have a question on the city park. Are we gonna allow camping in there? Like if vendors wanna park their vehicle in there?
No, we did not get a permit from the county to do parking other than the 3 or 4 nights during Gold Rush.
So that's just off limits, like
Just off limits,
completely,
yeah.
except for the car show.
Yeah, that's why the car show will be there, right?
Okay, just want to be sure, because I've had people ask, it's like, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, that's official. Also, there's
Okay.
Tilly's, there's, I don't know, Hidden Meadows if they have openings, there's
Yeah.
Max Place.
Or the Presbyterian, or, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but we will open it up for a Gold Rush. Okay, so over the next 3 weeks, I hope to get some organization with the rest of these. But the sentence to serve and the sheriff contract are really 2 that we really wanted to get in process, so.
The one thing that I wanted to just talk about real quick is just the porta potty locations, it's just since it's on here. Most events that you go to, they're just lined up. There's, 1 or 2 sections almost, and there's 10 porta potties or 5 porta potties. I think that's a fantastic idea, and I have a really ideal location in mind.
Your backyard, or?
Yeah.
No, I won't say it right now. I maybe will when we're at a better point of planning. But I just think it's something that we should consider.
Okay.
So then I have a comment on that though, because I've talked to a lot of the vendors, and the elderly vendors have asked, to make sure that there's a porta potty close by because of their needs. So like I have some like by the VFW, and then some by the Q lot way down past the city garage. And they have asked specifically, to make sure that there's a porta potty close by them. So,
which I think is great if we can accommodate, but we can't put a porta potty for 1 or 2 specific people. I mean, I think we can be strategic about where we put them, but we're consolidating lots anyways. So I would like to try and have set locations where we have them, and then when they come clean them out, it's not an all-day event. They can come clean them and be out of here.
yeah, some on the north side, some on the south side, and some in the middle.
When the vendors, even last year, were making comments of like, we have this porta potty right next to our stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to sit here all day and smell it. But
Yeah, and we have tried to put them in locations where they're not directly next to somebody, but like we have. My vision, I think I could appreciate your comment because I think because we're so spread out. Now we're not doing anything on the east side, so these 4 side streets that come up to Minnesota Avenue, we could have those. I can see some be putting some there back away from the food vendors, 20, 30 feet. Because there's 3 probably half a dozen of them along the First Avenue Northeast that we're gonna have to relocate. So we can bring some here, we can add more up by the garage, or we can add more down by the VFW. So.
Yeah. So like I said, we don't have to discuss now. We can, once we get everything kind of planned out a little bit better, we can say how many we have and then.
So typically we have a map for the porta potties. We have a map for the garage or the barrels, trash barrels. And we have strategically put those so they can be picked up by our crash.
I think
garbage crews.
That's great. I think the garbage locations have been good. It seems clean. I mean, people aren't searching for garbage.
We voted to reduce the sheriff. Oh. I got a question on the radios. Can I ask that?
Yeah.
Okay. I know we're supposed to pick them up from a certain place and that help.
No, we'll get that information to you.
Okay. I don't want to let that
that's one of the
slide.
last things that we do, but yeah, that's just a day of usually that
Do we have to let
Wednesday.
them know ahead of time when we need them or?
Usually we pick them up on a Wednesday and then return them on a Monday after the event.
Okay, but we don't have to let them know ahead of time when we pick them up. They have.
Yeah,
time?
there's a form letter that we send telling them how many we need.
Okay.
I'll send the letter.
It's over on 19th Street Northwest.
I'll be glad to get them. I just want to make sure I'm not dropping the ball on.
No,
that,
you're okay.
so.
We're doing okay.
Sorry, that was me. Everything's fine.
Just Kristen. So, but I think we're doing okay here. We'll get more organization here with these assignments and so. All right. So social media.
Regarding Civil Air Patrol,
I'm sorry.
I'd like a copy of your letter because I don't have contact information for where to send the letter to, so.
For the
The
sheriff.
Civil Air Patrol.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that would be helpful.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I just have a quick question. So for the golf carts, is there the same thing, a contact or a phone number or something that I need to do? And if so, when will that need to be done by to get them reserved for our event?
that's kind of what I was gonna say. Maybe like we have our names attached to these items. Is there, and I don't know who attached them, but I think all of us are feeling the same exact thing. Like when our name is attached, what does that mean? Does that mean that we're responsible to contact them? Does it mean we're responsible to pick something up? What does it mean?
So from my perspective, I put a spreadsheet together with these titles or with these assignments and contact information and whatever letters that we have in the past that need to be updated to be sent to those people. So the idea is to get that information to each of you. And I hope to do that here by the end of May. So you guys know what those assignments are, who your contacts are, the type of information you need to send to them. And that'll be on that spreadsheet. And so I'll send those to individually versus the whole committee.
So like for the radios, I'm just gonna bring that up because Jim brought it up. You're sending a letter to them.
Okay, if Ryland's gonna do the spreadsheet and.
Well, I just want to make sure I understand because we've never done it like this before.
No, we haven't.
So I just want to make sure we all understand what the responsibility is. Because I have no idea what like.
That's why I don't want to drop the ball. Yeah.
No, if this was June or July, we get really nervous, but we have time here in May to, because as soon as you get that information, you can go ahead and make those contacts and just copy Melissa. Because she was.
But we don't, Ryland, but we are not going to meet again until June. And I'm going to be real honest with all that I have going on with this place and with my real job. It's going to be June and July and I'm still not going to know what to do. I want to make sure we're really clear tonight. Like if whatever the job is, you're going to send us a spreadsheet and there's gonna be a contact, and there's gonna be contact information, what it is that we need, or like, if I have table rentals and striping services, am I responsible to contact those people and get the contracts with them and pick things up, or?
They deliver them.
So what I have seen in Carol's program here is she has a list of business contacts, and in that list, she's got the letters from previous years that she has sent out to the contact saying, okay, Gold Rush is going to happen this year. These are the dates. Like for the tables, I don't know if it's like 20 tables, you know, are reserved for Gold Rush, you know, just want to confirm that. And that looks like it gets sent out like this month. Yeah.
And the vendors contact the table rental people.
Yep.
And the table rental people know which vendor that they need to drop off and pick up the tables.
But it sounds like there's some that, or from reading that, it sounds like there's some tables that Gold Rush rents. And we must pay for them. I don't know. That's what it looks like. But you think the ones in her letter are specifically for vendors that in turn also, I don't know. Because I thought I saw somewhere where we actually paid for some table rentals.
Yeah, for the car show.
Yeah, we'll just have to touch base with Carol.
Yeah, summertime fun, we paid $300.
It's just one
Tables.
rolling.
Was
I'm
that a
just
fire
kind
hall or
of
a-
wondering. with
Yeah,
that,
see, so
'cause you
we
have to
did
have
rent
people
some, which
coming
I
in
think
and
is what
out and
the letter is for.
Right, registration.
Yeah,
I still feel very unsure and have a little anxiety about this. I'm gonna be honest. I just like having my name attached to things that I don't like. It just makes me very uneasy. I'm not a letter person. I don't send things in the mail unless I am gonna get penalized for not doing it. Like I'm an email or a phone call kind of a girl. So.
Well, I can do it for the tables because I've already had vendors ask like, who do I call? You know, and then I've had to call them to say, okay, you know.
But I'm obviously speaking for myself, but I feel like all of us are probably feeling maybe not as anxiety ridden as I am.
Well, I because, you know, when we talked about this last fall, we were trying to take the workload from Joanne for doing this too, but we know that there's certain key things that she's taking care of, the permit and the resolution, stuff like that. So let me do the spreadsheet.
Okay.
I'll make it as simple as I can and provide all the information I can, working with Joanne, what she has. And we'll get that out to everybody. And we don't need a committee meeting. This is, as you get it, you can start doing it yourself. You don't have to wait for a committee meeting because unless there's some issue with quantities, but typically it's pretty much what we've done in the past.
But okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. Like, I
Joanne?
don't think any of us know, so hopefully the spreadsheet will be comprehensive and detailed, and then we can take it from there. I just, like I said.
Right.
For tables, I think that we're gonna need a couple tables, at least one, if not two, for the car show.
Sure.
To be able to register people in and take care of that part. So if you were looking at that, so.
Well, and doesn't the city have a bunch of like picnic tables?
Right. I talked
Down
to
at the
Kane,
park?
and so we're gonna, last year we did this too. We brought some picnic tables in along with food vendors. So I asked him if we could do more tables throughout the area where we have a space. And so we'll just make sure there's a couple tables left at the Orinoco Park for the car show.
I have a
So
question regarding, sorry.
I'll take the task on of making sure it's simple and straightforward. And if need be, I can fill in and take some efforts because of the time commitment. And so
And I
that's okay.
can do it. I just, I feel like I don't want to mess it up. So
Okay.
I just, yes.
We got eyes watching. Okay. All good comments. So there's a map for the porta potties, the the dumpsters are the two main things right now, and the garbage barrels. So we'll work on those through the summer. And the garbage barrels are Kane and the Sentence to Serve needs those. All right, let's Unless there's any other comments, there's a lot of anxiety and apprehension. I can appreciate that. So we'll try to take care of that for you.
Just on my end.
See, I'm recharged now from the vacation, so I'm good to go.
You're doing towing too, huh, Corey?
Yeah. Kristen, do you have any comments about the social media?
I know that social media, we've been getting a lot of comments from people wondering, A, is there a show, and B, what are the dates and times? And I think that that's all updated everywhere, but we'll double check on that. I think Dana's doing a great job at scheduling out everything, and she's just doing an awesome job at connecting with people and making sure things are updated. I need to check, because if that information should be very blatant when the show is happening, but maybe there needs to be something like it is happening, so that's the only thing that I would add.
In your information that's on the table in front of you, there's a letter, I don't know if you guys saw it or not, that went out early on regarding Gold Rush to the vendors. If you haven't seen that, that's just a letter explaining the show and why we moved it to the west side. And so, and thanks, Christine, for, I believe you put this together.
Actually, Dana put that letter together. But yes.
And
Enjoy it. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. Dana.
Sorry.
I saw Christine. Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I did look at it when Dana emailed it.
Oh, we gotta take Lizzie off. Yeah, we gotta get Lizzie off.
All right.
I'll just call you Lizzie.
No, thanks.
Tim Lizzie? She's not a model.
This is Tim Lizzie.
Oh, Lizzie's on there.
Isn't that what I said? Not Tim, yeah.
Next item is our, any other comments for Kristen? We appreciate what Dana's doing and keeping busy with that, so that's great.
For social media. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll obviously be doing a lot more as the event approaches. Right now, we're just kind of holding steady with the social media, but we'll start ramping that up as we get closer to the event, more so in July, and then a lot more in August.
We also talked about boosting too, possibly.
Closer to the event, within 3 weeks of it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Otherwise, right now, it's just kind of
it's
not needed
too early
right now. Mm-hmm. Too early.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next item is advertising.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this may have been some carryover of A, B, and C. Dana asked to add C.
A's been taken care of, so she has that.
Beautiful list. I could just about cry because I'm so excited to have it. Of all of the publications that we've been in, what I am doing now is trying to track down what a cost would be for everything to place. There's some ads that have been placed, a few spots. This Rochester magazine that we got, today is due today. And so I will make a phone call tomorrow and just see if they could make an exception, and if there's something that we have from someone else that we could use for an ad. And then just looking at.
So this ad, what have you and Dana suggested that we may consider doing? There's a whole page ad, a third, or
no, not a whole page. I would say either the 9th page or the 3rd would be what we'd want to do, but probably more likely I just got this today, so I haven't really, but yeah. And this is just the summer guide, so it's not just a 1 month thing. It's used for the entire summer from what I see, June, July, so.
What's the 3rd page cost?
$325.
Oh, I would for sure do that.
Yeah, and we have about a $3,000 advertising budget so that's just looking, that'll go by really quick. So, but I think that this would be great to be in this if we can get something there. If maybe they give us an exception for being a couple days late.
They usually can.
Yeah, for sure. They usually plan for that. Yeah.
Okay. I think it's a great idea. There's another magazine that I subscribe to, it's called The Big River magazine. And I should have brought it, but they have it follows the Mississippi rivers, Mississippi River and all the towns through Minnesota and Iowa. And it identifies all the festivals this summer. And there's some from Plainview, Manorville and everything. So I think it's obviously it's too late for this issue, but I think for next year, it's something we may want to consider. And I'll just give you my copy of the magazine when I'm done with it for future reference, but I don't know what the distribution is, but it does cover all the events along the river. So we're not that far from the river. So.
Yeah. I have a question that came up today from actually one of my neighbors was, like Burn Pizza and like the Squash Blossom Farm and like little festivals that are around. I know we have it on here for like flyers and postcards, letter C, and I would love to get something like that over to these events that they can have. I would love to get those out so that people know that it's happening.
Those are all big events.
Well, and last year, didn't we have postcards that each committee member took and kind of just, distributed them?
I think she put those together.
Yeah, and Dana had a 50th anniversary logo made that. She made that too. I think she made it.
Yeah. So we have $3,000, is that right, for budget?
Right, that's what we approved last month.
Okay, well that's.
And I think kind of the best plan would be to really focus on getting June and July with the beginning of August to make sure that we're in that stuff. So we're still just, a lot of our due dates are approaching us for that. So I feel like those are creeping up, but with a little bit smaller of a budget, we may have to look at being July and August.
So you want to come back to the June meeting with your proposal, or just want to go ahead and do it? You have the budget.
I think between Joanne and Dana and I, since that little committee was formed, I think we'll be able to look at that and see where can we best place our.
I don't remember what time period to get them published is, but that's
about a month before. So like right now, everyone's receiving ads for June.
Okay.
So.
So on the list that you got from Carol and Joanne, you've got your priorities of where you think would be the best place to spend your dollars.
There's so many out there right now. We're looking at what we've spent, where we were in years prior, and saying what could we afford now, and what is our best bang for our buck, and what's free, what where what the reach is. We've been in a lot before, but we've also had, based off of the numbers that you put together, like $6,000 is what we've been used to spending. So we may just have to take a closer look at that.
Okay.
A question on that is and I'm obviously keeping Joanne in the loop on all this too with updating this spreadsheet, but if I do have a calendar, do I have to wait until June to come back with a calendar, or can I send that out to everyone to look at, or being that it's just our committee? I'm very new to all of this, working with the committee, so I want to make sure I do it right. Do we have to wait a whole month?
I think the committee can speak as well, but I think you've been given a budget, and I'd say just go for it.
Okay. Okay. Because I don't want to miss dates, because we need to have a meeting or something.
Right.
So, okay.
That's the key thing about having a budget, which we really kind of didn't have before.
Okay.
We came back, let's do this, but I think it's great having a budget so you can just follow that. And
okay.
But getting back to the Rochester guide, do you want to? I think the committees, is there a consensus that we have them pursue a 1/3 page ad?
I like
use your budget money for that.
I think it's a nice size. We had great success with that.
Great.
Okay. Excellent.
And this is an updated contact too, so I'll update on the spreadsheet.
Okay, as we get closer to the show, we may want to, we've done this in the past where a TV interview comes out or something like that. So keep that in mind of who we want to contact. We've had KTTC, KAAL, and maybe KIMT. I don't remember if we have or not, but that's something we look at in the July, early August.
I was just looking at Carol's task list that she gave me. Yeah, and that's on here.
Okay.
To reach out to the TV, the station.
Post Bulletin, News Record, KAAL, KTTC.
What about radio? You have radio too on there?
What's that?
You have radio as well?
Mm-hmm.
Oracle newsletter.
We should also keep the Rochester Area Chamber of Commerce to do a ribbon cutting like we did last year. You can request another one. They made a video of it, put it on their website. I'll make a note of it too.
Yeah, it looks like in the past we've worked with KRPR, Pulse, KQ, PR, KQ, AQ, Fox, KXLT, KTTC, the current. So if you have other ones,
I'm just like, I listen to 101.7, which is, what do they call that? Laser. And I mean, they do a great job on advertising. So much around. We use Dewey's Cruisers. They do a great job off of that.
Okay.
You know, that might get some good recognition off of that.
Saturday morning or something like that. Friday afternoon.
Big Mark Clark.
I mean, they even have that they come out and do portable stuff too that you never know might be available. They can come out and do live out here too off of that. So.
Okay.
Well,
It's expensive.
I mean, if Stewie's Cruisers does it, I mean, it's.
Yeah, but you may have more money than $3,000 as your total budget.
Well, the dues are a whole $25 a year to join the club. So it's like, there isn't a lot of money. So you might be amazed that they might do that. That's just a thought.
Okay. So why don't we go into the car show location discussion? Unless there's something else, I think we've covered Christians.
we'll be working hard on it.
Good. Thanks. All right.
My question to you, or the whole committee. Okay, there's one porta potty there now, which will stay in the park. But the pavilion facilities, men's, ladies, showers will not be operable.
It will be.
They will be open.
Yeah, they will be, okay.
Just for those 3-4 days.
Okay, good to know.
Yes, they will be open.
Perfect.
Okay. I don't think we need an extra porta potty for 3 hours.
I think you're gonna be fine with that, with that.
Yeah, I didn't know
facility.
that.
Yeah, that was.
The other ones were gonna be open.
But yeah, they'll be open.
Okay.
So then I have a question with that location then for the car show and the Lions Club being up here. Has anybody reached out to the Lions Club to let them know that the car show is going to be down there? And then would they be available or able to bring some of their products down to the park to, distribute, sell to the car show people?
Well, that's a possibility. I believe I've talked to John about it.
I haven't.
But at the same time.
Well, I talked to Mike and he knew nothing about it, so.
Okay. We'll double check with him, but I know one time we talked about moving to the court. We're not doing that, of course. Because you're gonna have vendors on the court, right? On the basketball court here? You're putting vendors? Yeah, okay. At one time that was talked about moving the Lions Club there.
Oh.
Last year sometime. So.
Okay.
That's up to his manpower, volunteers. But then he's gonna have to set a fenced in area, just like they do up there as far as.
No, I guess we were talking about them still being up at the B lot or whatever,
right.
Up there. And then for the car show, like maybe bringing a bunch of their coolers of beer or whatever drinks down to the park and then just being able to sell it there.
Well, they could, but just like we do at the park, you need to have a fence around where they're gonna drink it. They can't walk around with the drinks.
Oh, really? Okay. I think
Yeah.
somebody should tell them, talk to them.
Stewartville doesn't do that, so, well.
It's not a city park either, so.
I think,
That's right.
I think it's something that we've discussed, I think, every single year. And I mean, it would have to go to council as like a kind of like a freebie weekend. I don't know how we would do it, but it has been discussed a lot. And I think it's one of those things, I don't know.
It's something that we've discussed from the standpoint of let's consider it next year, and then we get to this point and decide, well, we're not going to change anything. So, because right now the fire department has their fenced in area, the Lions has their fenced in area, and right now, so it's one of those discussions. I guess the city would need to consider the liability of it, and I don't think anybody gets crazy drunk. People like to walk around with a screwdriver or beer or whatever, but it's always, I hate to say this, but we just never done it that way at the Gold Rush.
And I think the unfortunate thing is that people would probably drink less because they take it and then they go walk around, and they probably spend more time because it's kind of the way that those type of festivals are. And if you look at all of the Rochester events, they're all open carry when you're in Rochester at whether it's social ice or any of the outside.
The downtown, when they do that type of stuff, that's all open where.
It's all open. All of the events that I only go to stuff in Iowa anymore, but it's all, that's Iowa. So.
It's only officially scheduled from 1 to 3, if I remember right? The parade is at 1 o'clock.
2 to 5 or.
Well, yeah, they
line
up at 1, I'm sorry.
But I even think for the whole Gold Rush
just the whole-
weekend, you would just
open.
do it for the whole weekend.
That'd be great to have it open.
I think it would be nice. I think people would
Can't
appreciate
show
it.
any opposition.
I-
I don't oppose to that. If you're asking me.
I think it's a great idea, honestly, with what goes on with
It's always been a
Rochester.
great idea. It's just a matter of doing it. Okay, we're getting off subject here. So, have you guys had time to look at, or you want to sit down sometime and just walk around and see how many cars we're going to permit? Because we talked about the loop.
Yeah.
We talked about the campground area is open.
I think there's way more room and a lot more level, and you got shade. I mean, you got everything going on there. So I haven't really did, a real close study, but just in my mind, I can say 75 cars pretty easily.
Why don't we, the three of us, set up a night and
Walk it.
Measure it out. How much space do you need for each car? 10 foot, 12, I don't know.
Yeah.
If somebody's gonna be out there marking or guiding them like we've done up before where the spots are going to go. So.
The other question I have, we do the Minnesota Avenue parade again. Do we lead the procession all the way to the Minnesota Avenue onto the county road, or do we turn on, is it 5th Street, right by the?
It's 4th Street.
4th Street?
Yeah.
And do a little jog, or any ideas?
That would be more disruptive than just going straight all the way to the county road.
I would say just up to 5th Street and not bother 4th Street, just go clear to the T and then take a right and a left.
Left. Well, when you say disruptive, I mean, because it's a scheduled event, people know they're coming. It doesn't take more than.
And on 4th Street, we're gonna have vendors on both sides now and shoppers, where if you just go straight out.
I think that should be talked about. I don't have a preference. I'm asking.
No, I think 5th Street would be less confusion. So we also need to make sure that we have a barricade up there like Friday night. So nobody comes in to Orinoco Park for Saturday. So it's just something to keep in mind. We don't want people taking spots away from, because people do tend to park
general
in there as well.
parking and people will come and,
Yeah.
should I do that? So.
Well, let's the three of us pick a date or weekend or hour or whatever, just do that. So, okay. 50th anniversary. Like I said, Dana has developed a 50.
I saw it and now I can't find it. I don't know where I saw it.
On Facebook.
Did she email it to us to look over?
It wasn't, I'll look on.
Or it could have been on Facebook. I bet you it was on Facebook.
I saw it and then I don't know where it went.
Is it just on Facebook?
Yeah,
It had our Gold Rush logo in the 0 on the 50th. It was nice.
So is there?
Simple, nice.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's cute.
there, yeah, I'll just show around. I think that's nice.
Yeah.
So is that going to be
Did you see it?
intended for
She's got it on her laptop.
a poster?
I think it's
very
gonna be
nice.
used on
Everybody-
anything that our,
Postcards, flyers,
probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's good.
Like it.
update on the Facebook page as well.
It's on, it's on the
That is
face,
okay.
that's the new image for the Facebook page.
Cover page, okay.
Mhm.
Anything else we should consider doing? As far as talk about promotional material, but just do we
We're getting the flags that we're getting, we'll talk
Yes.
about that later. And then postcards and anything else that we, maybe the files, we can update the files that Dana has made from last year with the new logo if we need to print more.
do we need anything like at the information booth?
Like a banner, are
A
you
banner or
thinking?
something like that, or would not be very big, just point, just so it's out there. We have the banner that goes across the trailer, says information booth.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, 8 feet long, 7.5 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see, to do as far as the task list, just think about other 50th anniversary items.
With the,
Other than
What about shirts?
well, I was just gonna ask,
Yeah.
would it be t-shirts of
Yeah,
that?
t-shirts,
nature,
something like
or-
that.
I know they talked about t-shirts, somebody at one time, but
Do we have a lot of them printed from last year that we have left, or did we sell through those? I don't know that information, but
We haven't talked about.
I
that's
don't feel like we had
merchandise.
a lot left last year. They'd be here, right?
I don't think we had a
Yeah,
ton.
we didn't have a ton left over, I don't believe.
I don't think we did either. I think we got rid of a lot last year.
Because we almost had to have to wear something that's gonna identify us as we're working
Oh,
our
you're gonna
way
get your
through.
red
Shirt, you have a polo shirt.
Oh,
get
okay,
two.
I didn't know, so,
Yeah.
Yeah, we have got Gold Rush shirts.
okay,
You still have some down
you
in
can't
the
hide in
office.
the crowd.
It's gonna be bright red, but I'm not opposed to getting some merch for the 50th,
I like that idea
anniversary,
too.
whether it's little canvas bags or something printed up, or, a hat or something like that, that has, for the shoppers, like how fun would that be? Sell some $5 bags.
Or they usually, if they bring a donation for the food shelf, then they get a free item in the past, like a pen or a bag or,
Is that gonna come out of the advertising budget though?
Now, we want to take home as much stuff as they can
No.
buy. So.
I'm gonna protect that advertising.
Yeah, I know,
budget.
that's what I'm saying. Like, we gotta find
We
the
have
right-
that.
we're gonna buy merchandise
That'd be
to
the-
give away or sell, let's.
I guess it would be a question of, do we want to have some for sale and then to do like a giveaway, like every little bit, like maybe there's a few giveaways that we do in honor of the, I don't know, I have not thought about this really a whole lot.
Keep thinking.
But maybe we want, I mean, I'm sure people would buy stuff. Especially if it was super
People
fun.
buy the shirts.
Yeah.
I think if we had a really cute t-shirt, I actually like the tote idea, like a shopping bag type of tote.
Yeah, like just a canvas like bag or a jute bag or something like that, that they
See, in
would
the
carry it
past-
around.
In the past, we've given those away for when they bring an item for the food shelf.
We could sell them too.
Right.
If they're,
Yeah, I think there's different quality
And-
bags. I mean, I think you
Right.
could sell a nicer one. Some of the ones we gave away were probably not.
Yeah, I think those are like paper, the paper woven ones, the thinner were the ones we were giving away.
they're pretty inexpensive
Mhm.
to buy. It's the setup fee.
Right,
Mhm.
right. But then that's, anyone could have it. It doesn't have to be like it's unisex, like anyone could use a bag. And we don't just need to use it this year. We could have it, use it multiple years. So we can look into that.
I like the idea of the bag because it gets promotional all year round whenever they're using it,
Right.
so.
True.
You and Dana want to take a look at that as far as, that's a little bit more out of your budget, so we may allow some extra dollars for that, so.
And then too, depending if we're wanting to sell it, like if there's a little markup, on that, and we could make that
Sure.
back.
I see that's a bigger seller than t-shirts.
How many do you think, just out of curiosity, because I have no idea, like how many
I would look at what
would be,
the price point cutoffs are.
right?
Usually they're like 300 and then they go up to 500 and then they'll go to 1,000. So you would just.
Yeah. As long as we don't put dates on it,
Right.
or maybe not even the 50th.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you do
We can
that,
use
you're
those year
set
after
for
year.
this year, yeah, once we can use them next year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We kind of talked about picnic tables, spread out wherever we can. And Kane's agreed to help move those around. Right, Corey?
Yep.
Yep.
Good answer. They had a question about, at the information booth, availability of paper map handouts with the,
We have them, and we
have them, they've been
Haven't had one for years, a new one.
But the
several years
paper
old,
one-
yeah.
Yeah, but the paper one, we hand out per lot. If somebody comes and asks for a specific vendor in a specific lot, then we have like map, just a paper map for like B lot. Yep, and then we say that. But otherwise, for the general area of the show, then we have that colorful one.
10 years old. and it's
Yeah,
not-
it is 2009, I think, yeah. Yeah.
So with all the lots being on the west side, we probably need a new map.
Well,
If
we
we
still
can-
have just the, are you talking about the
There's
whole
nothing on
area?
that side now, so we don't wanna confuse them thinking there's lots over there, but they'll see right away there's no lots, but
Yeah, we would just have to show it to them and mark that off and say the vendors are all on this side.
I wonder if we can, once we. I'm thinking something nicer, like. I don't know. I'm thinking what a QR code that could kind of link to the website where you're like, okay, you're in lot A20, whatever that is. And then it can kind of show you where it is. I don't know. I don't know what she's.
how about the QR codes?
If there was a QR code, that'd be handy because you could just put it on your phone and off you go. You don't have to print anything out. So that's really handy.
So
I think we were gonna try to do the map.
vendor, or we can.
Christine,
set those up by name?
Christine,
Sorry.
what? What did you say?
I think we were gonna try to do a map on the Gold Rush website that has like the logo and the name of the vendor for each lot. And then we can QR code it, like you said, to the map. And so we're gonna do something that would be that way where they could either click on it and I don't know if it would have a basic description of what they sold as well. I can't remember how fancy we were talking about.
Would it be a lot of effort just to print those? Would it cost that much to do it? To print a half a sheet and be able to cut them here and print them?
Yeah, it would be expensive to print that. But the QR code you create, I mean, that's easy, easy to do.
You can do that for free, so that's easy.
So you're gonna do a QR code for each vendor?
No, a QR code will link you. You just take a picture of it basically, and it'll just link you to the website, and then the website will have the map of where everyone is, and then a description of the vendor.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. So who would like to, where does that fall into our list of to-do items?
Christine, are you already working on that?
Well, Dana and I had talked about it when we were first talking about like revamping the map online, and I kind of thought it would be nice to have something where we could either click on each lot and have like a little drop down. But yeah, I could talk to Dana about that and see if we can get it programmed in there, whatever WordPress allows us to do.
I'm happy to help also.
Thank you.
Excellent. I like that idea. Thanks. All right. Okay, Avenue flags in your stack of information. I reached out to Lee Harold because we got a quote from last year about the flags, and the flags last year cost $75. And this year they were going to be $92, but he would give us the discounted price at $82. So last year it got too late and the flags weren't going to be here in time, so we just canceled the order. He was fine with that. So if we look at that, there's 14, I think there's 15 flags on poles from the bridge up to the corner on 5th Street and Minnesota Avenue. If we wanted to consider like 3 flags on the south side of the bridge up to 3rd Street before you make the curve, before you get to the bridge, that's another possibility. It's another $200, I guess, $204.
Can I ask, like, what's the goal of the flag?
What's that?
What is the purpose of them? Are they only during Gold Rush that you put them up, or what's
that would be the main purpose. It says, it's just, I didn't send a copy of it. Remember, we had Gold Rush on the side and the miners emblem. But the intent is for Gold Rush for sure, leading up to it. And because we should put the banners up a week or so, 10 days before. So the flags would be up just probably 10 days at least, maybe 2 weeks. And the reason we're going with flags like this is that we're using the same flag holders at the United States flags that we put up for Memorial Day. And those holders are already up there, and they're only 8 feet off the ground that our city works people can put up, versus before we always had to have Shad Tracy use their truck, and it cost like $800 put them up and take them down or something because we're renting their truck. So that's why we decided to look at these flags. So
a good idea to have.
I mean, I think
for the city, I think we could use them year after year.
I think they're nice, but I don't know that for $1,800 or sorry, $1,100. Like, are they bringing us a lot of value?
I think advertising is good. You could use them for, what is it, National Night Out too, and you know, just have some advertisement that way that there is for the city. I think it's a good idea.
But everyone knows. I don't know. I feel like it's like people know that it's Gold Rush week or the week, but I mean, people know about it. If they are
Sure.
driving down Minnesota Avenue, the likelihood that they know that Gold Rush is here every year is pretty high. So I kind of feel like what's the,
I think it would make the vendors feel good too, seeing that little bit of some advertising that's out there, you know. That look, the city is doing it and they're promoting this, which is a positive.
that's true.
I think it's a festival, so I think it's good to have some type of. And you're right about everybody knows it's happening, but it's just more of a festive type thing, and so it's kind of lends itself to it. And
Especially if we can
repeat.
reuse them, you
Yeah.
know, and that, so it's just not a.
This is a tiny bit off topic. Do the lights on the bridge, does the city pay to have the lights on the bridge done?
No, we don't, but we do give them a donation from our Go Rush,
It just was
like $100.
I was thinking that same thing of like, maybe we could have them do gold on the bridge.
I don't know. Do you remember from last year's? I don't know if he does anything or not.
I don't remember.
I know
We
he
do give
does
a
green
donation.
and gold for St. Patrick's Day, so he must have gold lights he could string.
I don't.
Anyway, that's off topic.
Yeah.
We're talking
way off the
festive.
agenda, but
I
yeah.
know, we're talking festive. Flags, lights.
It does set the stage just a little bit. I see where you're coming from too, that like, and I like the idea of it being up longer, you know, like community pride, you know, thing. I get it. And if you take the cost and divide it over however many years they're gonna last, which I would assume it's not one season,
Right.
You could probably
No,
get
it's
those
multiple
for,
years. Yeah.
you know, and like
and
it's
so-
a nice
The local supplier, if
material.
we need some,
Mhm.
we have the pattern, the design.
Maybe we could put them up earlier.
Yes,
Put them up in July, like after the
Yes.
4th or something like that.
I agree.
And then I think I would
You know, I
feel
think
better
there's
about
a-
it than just.
I mean,
the
they are they're just one-sided, they're nylon, and when he talks about them here. They are, they do have, not links, but the nylon or a steel or brass where you hook the
eyes
flags
or
in.
whatever you call them, eyes.
Eyelets, yes, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And the nylon's good because the nylon doesn't fade, you know, so multiple years with that, the nylon keeps its color where they won't look bad, you know, so.
We could put them up like the 15th of July or something like that for 6 weeks or 5 weeks.
Well, typically, Rylan, how long do the US flags last before they're, I mean, I realize they're only used Memorial and 4th of July, but they
5
must be
years.
around 5 or 6
Oh,
years.
yeah, I think you get at least
I
5
would
years
think,
out of them, you know, so.
But you could leave the American flags up from Memorial to the 4th and then take them down the 4th and put these up.
The American flag, yeah,
Just flip them.
Mhm.
So we have something up all the time.
that's true. Save
And then the
Public Works-
banners go
Yeah.
out. I mean,
save
you
Public
put,
Works time doing it.
and then if those go up, then how early do the big banners go up? Like a couple weeks prior to the event, usually the big
On the
banners that
streets,
we.
yeah, we put those up about 10 days before. Because they do get a lot of exposure to the wind and
Mhm.
damage, so but yeah, usually about 10 days.
All right, well,
Okay, so,
Yeah, I did hear that.
so what do you think about the extra 3 flags on the south of the bridge?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Let's go festive. You talked me into it.
Okay, if we're gonna do it, let's do it.
Let's go big or go
It's
home.
like,
Go big or go home.
especially if you can use it for 5 years, it's like, okay.
So 17 flags.
Let's do, I counted 15.
Okay,
15 plus the 3 for 18 flags.
okay,
I'm sure Jim and Kane will be excited to hear it.
yeah. Well, my idea of leaving up the
We got a new truck,
American
so you're
until
okay.
4th and then
18.
change them
Yeah,
out for
right.
these.
We're talking $1,476. And if we get 3 good years out of those, that's a pretty inexpensive way of doing it as an idea. So I make a motion that we purchase up to 18 flags at $82 each from Herald Flags.
Second.
Any other comments? I don't see any problem with paying. You guys help us out for those flag holders up. So, any other comments? Not all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I
That's approved. Let's see, circling back, I think we got the magazine. The last item before we adjourn is just an update regarding Grace Lutheran Church. Do you want to, I talked to John too, but he called me as a courtesy call, but John talked to you and Joanne what Grace was offering. Would you mind sharing? So what Joanne was going to say. So John Stope, who's the president of Grace Lutheran Church, they're willing to share their parking lot with us for no fee this year only, if we want to consider putting any vendors in the parking lot. In the past, we've always had a contract, $2,500 for 90 lots, which is some of them in the Pines lot and in the parking lot. And the church had a council meeting here last Sunday or a week ago Sunday, and they agreed to offer that to the Gold Rush Committee, that they would let us use any part of the parking lot for vendors at no cost, just for this year. And Joanne explained to John that, and he shared with me too, that a lot of the vendors are starting to be relocated already because we have been doing this for several weeks now. But they would offer that, so he would like to have the committee respond back to him if we're willing to accept that offer, or no, we're going to go ahead and proceed with moving everything to the west side.
And I had told him that this year, that no, everything is moved to the west side. We're going to leave it there. They can rent out the lot themselves this year. They can do it for parking, whatever. And he understood. And then two, he said, going forward, maybe for the next year or two, that because of our funding, that, you know, maybe the church would allow us to go back and use their spots at like no cost or reduced cost. Yep. But I told him this year that no, it wasn't going to happen. We weren't going to put people back there.
Yeah, good. I also suggest a gathering permit if they park cars or whatever.
Then they just have to get the gathering permit.
Gathering permit.
Yep. Yep. And he understood that.
But I think that with them offering that, you know, for parking or something, we should at least take advantage of it to know that we're including them and being gracious for what they've done for offering it to us. That's what I think. You know.
Yeah, typically they have, because the one way, the way it comes in, they'll have probably somebody down there behind the post office or on the north side of the park, their own private signs of private parking here for whatever fee, and they can, that's all of their responsibility to guide cars and park cars. But
yeah, I'm just saying, I think we ought to do it that way to let them know that we're open and very thankful that they gave up $2,500, you know, for us to be able to do it and make it successful. What about other people that come in later on? You know, to have that for an option to be able to, you know, okay. All right, I just
open up a can of worms because
Okay.
they moved people out of there that wanted to.
we don't.
Okay.
We
All
don't.
right, that's
Because the vendors that were there, they've been there for years and they loved it. And being that we moved them, they're mad because we moved them. They're mad because they don't get to be on the blacktop. They're just mad.
They're just mad.
okay. I mean, that was just that it makes sense. I mean, parking is something that will take that issue out, and it wouldn't be that. But I think that we should somehow include them for their graciousness to give up $2,500 for Gold Rush.
But when I talked to John, he understood, you know.
This is a one-time deal. We can't take a rain check on
And
that.
we had to make that decision early on.
For years.
Construction project to make it happen, so. So,
I think, thank you for the offer, and if we would have had the offer 2 months ago, we probably would have taken them up on it, but we can't go back and move things around now, so it's very, very nice of them.
But work with the parking, I would think, or something that way, that, yeah. It'd be great for us to have parking that's around for people.
But that will be up to them, that won't be for us. They won't just give us parking, will they?
I think they might if they gave us the lot.
But then
They
they
said
have
specifically
somebody,
for vendors.
For vendors.
Oh, okay, well, you might ask.
but then somebody in the Gold Rush Committee would have to man that.
Yeah.
I guess in the past 1 year we did down at the ball field, we had a Gold Rush Committee being there collecting money for people to come and park in the ball field. But so same scenario if the committee
Just a
wanted to
thought.
do that. So.
I'm the new one that's on this committee, so I don't know anything. I'm just thinking and grateful that they offered that.
we appreciate your comments, just share with you the history of everything. So, I don't know if we need a motion to.
I don't think so.
We have a consensus, I guess, with the committee that will continue the direction we're going. And we appreciate their offer, and we'll take it year by year and see what happens. And I'll call John back tomorrow or this week to let him know if everybody's agreeable with that. Okay. All right.
Next one's
This is not on the agenda. Well, let me just, let's adjourn, and I have one other comment.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
I wish I would have said that sooner.
Okay, who seconded it?
Aye.
Tim.
Okay, thank you.
On next month's agenda, because of the decision not to have fireworks, because we needed $6,000 to get a display, our $3,000 wasn't enough. So we as Gold Rush need to reconsider how we want to use that $3,000 for. The city cannot move that $3,000 over to National Night Out or any other project, but we need to redesignate how we want to use that $3,000 if we want to use it for National Night Out and some other projects. That's fine, but that's our decision.
Can they return it to us and use it for advertising?
We can talk about that in June.
Okay.
That's great.
We might need it for
But we
merch.
need a resolution